Trial time, baby! Part 11. Let's do this. Let's see how far we can get today in the courtroom number 4. Oh god. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Bowers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. And of course the defense is ready too. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I will call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Oh boy. Here we go again. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to the whole thing again? No, we got it. So, basically there are only 3 people that day. Jack Hammer, Penny, and that security lady. So, what we know definitely is someone probably snuck through the employee area to get to the place where the murder took place. So, yeah, let's see about that. We pretty much got the photo last time of some guy. And yeah, we can just check this at our own leisure. Okay. I feel like I can skip it. I think I can probably remember that. So, the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval. Aha, there we go. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood? Let's call the security officer to the stand. Oh, I can't wait to see what she has for us this time. Will the witness declare her name? Yeah, her name is Oldbag. Oh, what? Do we have the grandma of April May here? What the frick? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting the witnesses to say their names. Wendy, oh, I knew it. I knew it. Oldbag is in her name. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. But just don't call me Grandma. And I'm just beaten potatoes. I like French fries, and I like the cried and cried. Objection! I object to this witness talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, see, I was. And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Okay, let's see. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest have been doing a run-through there since the morning. I, well, had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5 p.m. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, the man right there, and he was heading toward the studio. You saw the defendant then? Very well, let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Alright, let's get the juicy details then. So first, up until that time, anyone who wanted to could just go through the studio? Well, there wasn't a security guard at the gate, no. But the main gate was locked, dearie. You need an employee key card to get in. Right, the card key that I have. So what she's saying is that no one was supposed to be there to get in. Was there anyone at the studios when you arrived at the guard station? Yeah, poor old Hammer and the rest have been doing a run-through in the scene that morning. A run-through? They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5. That's why poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon. So Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about a laid-back hero. If there was a run-through in that morning, why did you only get there after noon? It's because she had some errands, apparently. What kind of errands? Oh, well, you know. Answer the question. Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers. Observing, you know. Yeah, that's what she was doing when she looked all weird like that. Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station? Whippersnapper! I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job! I'm not sure your boss would see it that way. Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs, always! Never miss one in all my years. Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. It was 1 when they got to the guard station then. Did you see the victim then? Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He'd already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station. Tell us what happened next. He was at the main gate. She was at the main gate until 5. So you were watching there the whole time? No breaks, not even a second? Of course! I'm a professional, you know! Or are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper? No, it's just after seeing you eat those donuts in the guard station yesterday. I can watch the game and eat donuts at the same time! Snipper-whapper! Snipper-whapper? Old Windbag is really losing it, Nick. Why don't you raise an objection? So, the witness was on duty through the afternoon the whole time. Very well. What did you see? Now, the murder happened at 2:30, so how do you know? Yeah, how does she know that? Oh, I have my ways. That overdressed young detective told me. I fed him some donuts and he talked and talked. If you ask me, that detective wasn't cut out for this job. Edgeworth is gonna have something to say about that, I'll tell you what. Poor Detective Gumshoe getting ratted out by a security guard. Interesting to me because a certain man walked by me at 2. I mean, it couldn't have been Gumshoe. 2? You sure? Sure as spit. Well, who was that man? Really, you should try not to get so excited for your age. You might strain something. I mean, to be fair, the judge is very old, so I'll give him that. I mean, he's got a really cool beard. And it was Powers. How do you know it was him? So you saw Mr. Powers. That's what I said. Got wax in your ears, Sonny? Nick, this is your chance. Yep, time to pull out the secret weapon. I'll say it again. It was him. All right. Let's see. Let's present this thing. Let me get this straight, old bag. Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Old Tokyo. Miss Oldbag, this is the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? No, they can't! Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. Ooh. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss Witness. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Humph, nosy old man. Of course I have oh, what? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised? The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all of the information of your possession ahead of time. How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Dude, you are speaking in a court of law. I think every ounce of information is important in a court of law. And I'm no lawyer. I know one of my friends is. Technically, she went to law school. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Oh, Gumshoe, you slipped up. Wow. Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof, then. The man in the photo. Let's see. What do you have this time? I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Oh, he broke the spear he was supposed to use for the scene. So then, could the murder weapon actually be like another replica of the same weapon? Like, yeah, the samurai spear. Could it be just another one that they made for the scene? Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? So he had sprained his ankle. Maybe that's why Will apparently claims that he needed to rest because he sprained his ankle. Okay. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Alright, let's press on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Okay, first line. Whippersnapper! Hey, I haven't said anything yet! I'll have you know that I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I said is on the straight and narrow, the up and up. You today. I was wondering about each other pointing fingers at, and I like cheese fries. Mr. Wright, please, for all of our sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edgeworth has met his match. That morning during the run-through, who was present at the run-through? Well, let's see. There was Powers, he's the Steel Samurai. Then poor old Hammer, the old magistrate. And me. But there were 3 people. Oh wait. Yeah, it's yeah, she was watching the rehearsal. But where was Penny though? Cause yeah. Observing, just observing. What about what about Penny? Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such. Shows she didn't see the run-through then. Saw Powers trip and fall. Trip and fall? Yes! And to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh! So, Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course. You helped make it better? I kissed it where it hurts. Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then? Man, I really don't want to believe that, you know, Penny could be the killer. I mean, anything's possible, but... Oh, her? She was cleaning up the backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. You may continue your testimony. He broke one of the props then. Yeah, that's probably it then. He broke a prop. Sure did. His own samurai spear. His samurai spear? The murder weapon? Yeah. That's probably what I'm thinking. It's probably like a replica. Luckily, I was there with duct tape to fix it. Oh. This strikes me as a significant detail. Yeah, so she fixed it up. Okay. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained? Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch. Yeah, see, there we go. That's why. That's why. That's the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked. Dragging his foot. Okay. I think we've heard enough. Haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me. Which is... where is the Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes? And it is clear that the person in the steel samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? Yeah, no. Hold it right there! We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the steel samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. Yes, sir. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Say the magic word. Then allow me to remove the doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please? No need to ask twice. The witness's account continued then. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. That's a pretty short testimony then. So, if no one else went into the studio, then it would have been this steel samurai who did it. I mean, of course it could have been an entirely different person. I mean, probably nowhere in the photo was, like, evidence of, like, body type or anything. And clearly that steel samurai in the photo is, like, you know, way too big. So I guess, like, maybe Penny was out. I don't know. How do you know that? Yeah, didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything. I see Detective Gumshoe share his fellow officer's fondness for donuts. So the only person that she did see there was her. Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody suspicious looking. Right. No one else went there. What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1 p.m.? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so that nobody could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen them. So there's a possibility that she didn't really see the person who went inside the grate then. Maybe. Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going to the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let them have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy? Gah. Old Windback here sure has balls. Or, well, you know what I mean. Old Windbags sure have a way of skipping important details after all. Or for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? Oh my god, jeez. So that means we basically have to do some evidence. Present some evidence then. Oh, wait a minute, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I literally just got it. I literally just got it after like minutes of thinking. This is photo number 2. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. I mean, duh, I mentioned it in like the investigation. Why didn't I think of this before? This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sirree, Sonny. So whenever someone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture. And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway. It's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note on the back of the photo were the imprinted words, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Even I know what it means when it was 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says, photo number 2. Photo number 2. The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be number 1 if that's really the only photo? Bob your heads left and right. Shake your heads. Make as much noise as possible. Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I wanted to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there is only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself. Me? You watch your mouth, whippersnapper! The only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean. Can the witness explain this to the court? I don't understand those newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help! Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Oh. Whippersnapper? Something the matter, Mrs. Oldbag? Oh man. She's gonna go Super Saiyan, she's gonna go Ultra Instinct, she's gonna go. Ah! That's right! I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate, someone other than the Steel Samurai? Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. I see. Your testimony, please. Alright, what do you got this time? Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. So, because of her habits, she threw out photo number 1. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny. I only just remembered it. Right, anyway. Alright. Cross-examination. Well, I'd say this is a turn for the unexpected, but I kinda expected this. Okay. Let us see what we got here. First, we press. Another job? That's right. I check all the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that the security camera takes. Do you back up all of the security camera data? Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating. You throw out any photos, yeah. No. You're not supposed to do that. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part. For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag. Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I? She thinks she's missing the point. I think she's missing the point. Yeah, pretty much. Now I remember throwing out one photo. Well, can you remember which one it is? Who in the heck was the photo you erased? A fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys. Real freaks, if you ask me. They get information about rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day. Wait a second. Didn't you say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there is a drain that goes into the employee area. Yeah, this is where the drain comes into play. The grate had been loose for a while. It leads outside, and, well, that's where they came in. They came in through the drain? I told you they were freaks. Oh, and... they're kids. Children. Whippersnappers. Kids? So, on the photo that you erased... It was a boy. Probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? What? There's no way a kid. There's no way. There's no way, dude. Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg, and the other was a boy who looked to be about 6 or 7, 2nd or 3rd grade. Yeah, because clearly 6th and 7th grade is clearly 2nd and 3rd grade. Oh, yes. Well, I see his type there every day. Can't stop him. Can't catch him. A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, but not impossible for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy. Right. As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there. That makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. Alright. Well, I mean, there could have been like a really short person. Maybe not like an actual literal kid, but maybe like a short person. Who knows? Mr. Powers? Yes? Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio! I was sleeping! Honest! So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo? How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner in the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? So you should take better care of your stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? Doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick! What are we going to do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone that could conceivably have done this. Right! And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. Sigh. What does it mean? Please don't sigh like that. Well, damn, man. I really don't know. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edwards, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. Because clearly anybody in 10th grade, anyone who's 10 years old is in 2nd or 3rd grade. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there's still no one there's still no one else that could have committed the crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person that could have committed the crime. Order! Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, then you will be penalized. Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? Okay. Very clearly, like the security lady clearly like threw out some things, right? She wasn't doing her job at the time, so that could be possibly her. I might as well just make a save out of this. This could be like a very important decision. Yeah, there was like one. Yeah, no. I mean, it could very well be the kid, but it didn't really look suspicious enough and said to be a fanboy. Yeah. It was the assistant. The Steel Samurai costume was in his dressing room. She stole it, and in doing so, she became the Steel Samurai. So you're saying the Steel Samurai in the picture was really the assistant? That's correct, Your Honor. If you're serious, you got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember the photo? Wasn't the Steel Samurai a little lame? He was dragging his foot. Uh-oh, bad feeling time. Remember the testimony concerning Powers' injury? Powers and poor Hammer were at the run-through. Oh, and me. What about the assistant? Oh, she was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. Yeah, I made her screw it up. The assistant knew nothing of Mr. Powers' injury. She could look the Steel Samurai look with that costume. But she couldn't walk the Steel Samurai walked. She wouldn't have limped. Ugh. That kind of takes the legs out of from under the case. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I have to penalize you, as I warned. Yeah. Nobody knows. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows but Jesus. Oh, God. Well, there were only 3 people there at the time, though, so... I mean, we don't really have that much information. I mean, unless it's like really obvious. I say we plunge ahead with the obvious option. It was the grade school boy. Why isn't anyone saying anything? Bah! Are you seriously suggesting that the boy did it, Mr. Wright? Grade school boy kills veteran star actor with action star with spear. One thing, hey. Okay, you know what? Let's not. Let's not. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai was dragging his leg in his picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about the morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run-through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady. Old bag. What? Whippersnapper. How many times have I said whippersnapper in this entire thing? Order! Order! Also, if you're gonna complain about me using the load feature, they gave me this power, so I'm using it. Is this true, Old Bag? Old Bag? That's Miss Old Bag to you. Miss Old Bag was standing alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal samurai costume, then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the steel samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby! Let's go. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objectives at this time. Hey, haha. Even he has to accept that fact. Haha. What? What's that supposed to mean? So you all think I did it, is that it? Edgy boy, what? Don't just sit there, do something. What's my move? Maybe now's my test to take this the whole way? The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldback's actions on that day. Actions? But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive, too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute! What about the other person who went into the studio? The boy! The one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler though, as you said. 2nd or 3rd grade, was it? That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds, tops! Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer. What? How can you be so sure? Or is it to be nice to the kids and mean to your elders day? Whippersnappers. I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Then let's see it as proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder? Yeah. What would that be, though? Because... Wait. The scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key? I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? Is he gonna go super sap? Please tell me she does. The Windbag, speechless. That's gotta be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for the day. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy... what was her name? Something Old Bag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Old Bag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned. Damn, bro. I really need to work... Oh. Wait a second! I'm not just going to sit here with you... Well, I'm not just going to sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me? I'm talking. Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? By whom? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth that told her not to talk? Well, testify! Testify! Oh, okay. What do you have this time, then? Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people on the studios out the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to pretend they just haven't been at the studios that day. But if they were going to go accusing me, I'm not going to let them get away scot-free. Ooh. Miss Oldbag, that is crucial information. Why did you keep it from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told. Always do what you're told, eh? No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, then. Let's see what we have here. So you were told not to talk. That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less. Why didn't I hear about this? Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There were some other people at the studios then. Who? Who were those people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters. The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have how could they have done a run-through of their scene without a director? Of course. Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it. So, where were those people? The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and then they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in Studio 2 trailer. But isn't that way supposed to be blocked off? Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. That's definitely not Mr. Wright's voice. That would be mine. I think I already asked all my questions, but yeah, let's continue. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? Well, nothing to do with it in quotes, so what does that even mean? Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder. I know that's silly. Well, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side. Of course, man. Bribery. I think I asked all the questions I had to ask. Yeah. I guess there's no harm in getting as much info as I can. I mean, obviously, I'm going to get, like, every bit of information that I can. So they told me they'd just pretend I haven't been at the studios that day. So they were actually in the studio? Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came. Ugh, I'll kill this woman, I swear it! I feel sorry for Edgeworth, almost. She really left him hanging on this one. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not going to let them get away scot-free. Then what about that one, then? Them? Who are these people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters. Oh, okay. Alright. Well, where were those people? Yeah. Where in Studio 2? There was a Studio 2. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we already asked everything then. Your Honor, we have learned that there were others at the Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about those other people we had just been told of. Man, he's mad. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Yes. Yes. So, as I was about to say before Oldbag completely interrupted my thoughts, like, I totally need to learn how to read things because I was pretty stumped on the whole present photo number 2 for a few minutes. I was thinking about it and I was like, oh yeah. It's like, how could I forget it like a detail that important, like so stupid? Maybe it's because I'm recording these like once a day or something like that. And like I forget details almost. I don't know what to do. I didn't really know what to do. So, you know, I'm just stupid. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Aw, really? It's nothing. Or should I? We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this producer and director. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So Nick, have we figured out just who it was in the Steel Samurai costume? Could it have really been that old windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old windbag. I kind of feel sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right. We'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Okay, alright. We are definitely getting somewhere. And as the case, because there was really no other... Well, basically, it hasn't been an hour, so thankfully, I can keep this video as is. So, yay for me, I don't have to split this video up. Yeah! Anyway, next time, we will proceed with Day 2, the investigation. See you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.